words that's very common during the month of December is the word gift. And Jesus is, as the passage says, is an indescribable gift of God. We're going to talk about the Word become flesh. If you go to the bathroom, make sure to bring your phone in there because it's dark, because of the light. So, unless you want an adventure in there, I don't. We're going to talk about Christmas. We've talked about Mary, we talked about Joseph, we talked about the baby, we talked about the manger, we talked about the angels, Bethlehem, all the different things. But in the Gospel of John, the manger's not mentioned. Mary and Joseph aren't mentioned. The Christmas story is totally not mentioned. All of a sudden, John gets transported to some cosmos place where there's God, and he tells us how it looks from the other point of view. And this is how the Gospel of John begins. Let's read this together. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God, children born not of natural descent, or of human decision, or of husband's will, but born of God. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. So here's John. He doesn't talk about any of this Christmas quote story, but this is the Christmas story, I think, from the heavens. Jesus is, in this particular passage, he's referred to as what? The Word. What does that tell us about God? What is that? Why did God choose that Jesus is the Word? He still speaks.
So it says to me, he still talks.
Okay, he speaks. That
Still speaks.
On Christmas Day, people are going to open different things. Some things you have to maybe put together. How many understand this concept? You got to put some stuff together. Maybe even before Christmas, you had to put some stuff together. And what do you do in order to put stuff together? What do you got to do?
Read directions.
You got to read the directions. What?
If you can find what's in your language, that's very good.
Okay, it's a good thing to read directions, but how many? Some of us, this seems like a no-brainer. We're just going to open the sucker up and put it together.
Wing it.
And sometimes that works, but sometimes
It fails miserably.
how hard are you thinking? And I don't think the people who write the directions get paid a lot either sometimes. How many understand that concept? Okay.
Or nobody reviews them.
But if nothing makes sense, what do you try to do?
Adjust.
Go online and see what's on there.
What?
Go online
Go online, see what others say, and eventually you might have to actually get in touch with the manufacturer. Have you ever had a missing piece or something? It wasn't there. You're going to have to do something. That's sort of how our lives are lived. We sort of wing it until we figure out that there's a missing piece. And then maybe we go back to the instructions. That's God's word. There's the instructions, right? We go back to the word and we try to figure out what... But if that doesn't work, we need to talk with the manufacturer. We need to talk up to this point. And I think the book in Hebrews, this passage kind of says it. Long ago, God spoke many times and in many ways to our ancestors through the prophets. You know, the word of the Lord came to Abraham, one of the first times. They're recorded in Genesis. God says, look at the stars. You see how many stars? That's how many descendants you're going to have. God spoke to Abraham. He spoke in different ways. And if you look in the Old Testament, oftentimes it says, the word of the Lord came to. How many, you ever seen that? The word. Who's the word of the Lord? According to Jesus. He's the word. Now, he spoke to people back then different ways. And it says, at many times and in many different ways. Sometimes he wrote on the wall. Like in Daniel, there was handwriting on the wall. Sometimes he spoke through a donkey. In Balaam's donkey, God spoke through different means at different times. And now, say and now.
And now.
And now in these final days, God has spoken to us through His Son. God promised everything to the Son as an inheritance. And through the Son, He created the universe. How was the universe created? If we go back to Genesis, how was it created? What? By the Word, which is Jesus. That's how things were created. He spoke it. The Word created. The Son radiates God's own glory and expresses the very nature of God, and He sustains everything by the mighty power of His command. When He had cleansed us from sin, He sat down in the place of honor at the right hand of the majestic God in heaven. I had this theory many years ago that in the Old Testament, God was a radio preacher. He spoke from the heavens. But you know, people ain't getting it. So He said, I'm going to have to come down there myself. And He became a human. And that's how His life spoke. His word spoke, His life spoke, everything spoke. God's word is synonymous with God. How about your word? Is your word synonymous with who you are? Nobody has that, do they? We want our words in our life to match God's word and who God is. Absolutely matches. The instance, logos means sentence, saying, or oration. In the beginning was the Logos. The Logos was God, and the Logos was God. Logos is derived from the verb lego. How many have Legos? It's from the word. It's derived from the word lego. To count, tell, say, utter, speak. That's what Lego means. It's what Lego means. Logos itself also includes the inward intention and reasoning underlying the speech act. That is a hypothesis, thought, viewpoint, grounds for belief or action. When referring to Christ, the divine expression was was something of this meaning. So when Jesus, the very will and the intention of God, is spoken, communicated, explained, revealed, the Logos of God is revealed clearly through the incarnation of the God-man Jesus. That's what the Word is. It's Jesus. Incarnation, that's a Latin word. How many have heard the word incarnation? Incarnation. Logos is eternal. It says that he was in the passage it says, before anything was made, he was around. Just think about that. It's hard to believe that there was eternity past. How many understand this? Do you believe there's an eternity future? There's an eternity past. How did... I don't get that. Do you get that? No, I can't wrap my mind around it.
I don't think it's relative to us, it's relative to
If
God.
you can conceive of eternity future, there is a possibility to conceive of eternity past, but I don't know how that... I don't know. It says Logos is eternal. How many know that the words we speak have an impact? We're made in the image of God. Logos was with God prior to coming to earth. We know that. Jesus, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit were together. The passage says Logos is the giver of life. He's the light of men. Logos is the creator. The Logos is God himself. The Logos became human. The Logos is full of grace and truth. There's a thought. Our words need to be full of grace and truth. The Logos is Jesus. Incarnation is a Latin term that literally means the act of being made flesh. Latin term is used in John 1:14. And the Logos, Jesus, became flesh. And he made his dwelling among us. He came to that which was his own. This is what the passage says, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believe in his name, he gave the right to become children of God, children not born not of natural descent, nor of human decision, or of his will, but born of God. We know one is born of God when? We know one is born of God when what occurs? Let's get little groups, let's figure it out.